Hey everyone, it's Mia, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you some sixth form / A-level advice. So I've just finished my A-levels, so I thought I would just make a video right now, whilst I can remember everything about sixth form and studying and everything like that. So you can watch this if you're going into sixth form or if you're going into year 13 this year. I know that a lot of people were requesting how I revised for A-levels and stuff about my A-levels as it was going on, but the reason why I didn't do any videos was because I just felt like I wasn't good enough to give advice on A-levels. I was really good at studying and school stuff, at GCSEs, but this year I just haven't been that good, for a mixture of reasons really. So I didn't want to give loads of advice of what I'm doing, because that's not necessarily going to get you really good grades, because I don't know what grades I'm going to get. Definitely not all A stars or anything like that. So yeah, that's why I didn't do any A-level videos this year. But since I'm finished now, I will give some advice and things that worked well for me. Yeah, at the end of the day it's just about how much effort you put in. So let's just get started with this video. If you like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. So I'm first going to talk about tips for studying and stuff, the things that I absolutely swear by. I would not have been able to do A-levels if I didn't do these. And then the next section is going to be just general sixth form advice. I've only got a few points for that. But my first tip is to maintain your work throughout the year and keep your notes organised and take good notes throughout the year as you're going along, because at the end you will have so much less work to do. When it comes to revising, it's just going to be so hard because you're going to have to be flicking through textbooks, almost relearning the whole course. I'm so glad that I actually did this. I kept good notes, and I have a folder where I split the notes into sections, so it was all organised, and it just made my life so much easier, because I feel at the start of sixth form I was quite motivated, and during revising for my A-levels I just wasn't at all. If I hadn't had all my notes organised, I honestly think I would have done really badly. Thank God for my start of year 12 motivation saving me in my A-levels. And if there was a little note saying make sure to read this article, make sure to look at this textbook page, I would just do it then and just write a little note about whatever the teacher wanted us to look at. And then I could just forget about that, because then at the end I don't have to worry about going through all the textbooks and stuff like that. I didn't use any of my textbooks. I mean, it really depends on your course and exam board and stuff, but I had 2 textbooks for economics and 2 for DT, and I have not once looked at them, just because you're at school to learn the course. I don't know why I would be flicking through the textbook when the teacher's already taught us all the information. So yeah, I didn't at all use those. Next tip is make a PowerPoint of all your notes, and this sort of links with the last one of taking notes throughout the year, because what I did all throughout year 12 and a bit of year 13, so I'd have all my notes on paper, I'd make them in class, and then in my freeze I would type up my notes onto a PowerPoint with all the subject titles, so it would be one slide per subject within that subject, and then I would throw away my paper notes. So by the time it came to exams, it would just be all organised online on my Google Drive. So for example, I had a PowerPoint for microeconomics and one for macroeconomics, and then loads of slides with all the notes on, because otherwise you end up with binders full of pages, handwritten notes. You have to flick through them all, read it all, make notes on it all, make flashcards, whatever. It's such a waste of time, going through all your binder notes. So I personally found it really helpful to have them all organised, typed up. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. That would probably be my main tip. If you do any of this, I would say keep all your notes online. And then also, like, if your house burns down or something, like, obviously you've got all your notes, so yeah. This was just so helpful, especially for economics, because there's so much to learn. Like, there is a lot of things we were writing down, and we had really good teachers for economics, and they would do it in, like, a lot of detail. We would have these booklets per lesson, like, literally a booklet per lesson. That was, like, quite thick. So if I had ended up with, like, I don't know, like 50 of these booklets at the end to read through all these pages, I would just, no, like I could not do that. And to make it easier, when I was going along, I made sort of like essay plans within the content. So if like I'd written a page of like advantages and disadvantages of something, I would summarise that on my PowerPoint. I'd put it in green and then red for the advantages and disadvantages, and then I'd write evaluation points. So it's like you've literally just got an essay plan from just typing up your notes. Doing that really saved me because it's just so easy to go through then. And if you're in class and the teacher is like randomly like do a question on this that you haven't revised for like 6 months, you can just pull up your PowerPoint and have a look at the notes that you've made. So yeah. Next tip is to do with work that has been marked by the teachers. So if it's an essay, if you don't have time to do this throughout the year, because this is a lot of work to just be like maintaining as well as homework, then I would say keep all your like marked essays and questions in a separate place, and then when it comes to revising, you can like write that, say if it was really good, you just like quickly bullet point an essay plan exactly how you wrote it. Or if it's like not so good, you just bullet point the essay plan and then add in like a different colour like what you need to add and remember to write in it that you didn't the first time. And then with shorter mark questions, you can literally just like write out your corrections and just throw away all the marked work, because also you'll end up with so many pages. A lot of homeworks will be a bit irrelevant, so like you could just throw them away. Like if it's a homework that you've done so well on, you might as well just throw it away because you obviously know the answers, so you know. Next tip is to revise using your specification. This really depends on like how good the teaching is. So like in some of my teachers would make it really clear like what part of the spec this was, and like this lesson we're doing this part and these are learning objectives and you need to know these things. And then some subjects we would just do like random things every lesson, and I'd be like, do we even need to know this? So one of the subjects that wasn't so organised was DT. So when it came to revising, I just printed off the spec and went through every single bullet point and made sure that I had notes on that, because to be honest, there was things in the spec that we just hadn't covered in lessons. There was things we'd done in lessons that just weren't on the spec, so it was a bit confusing. Revising using the specification is just so much easier because you know that you've covered absolutely everything. And also, I think this depends on the subject, but one of my economics teachers said that where in the specification it says evaluate, that means you could get an essay on it. I went through every single point that said evaluate and did an essay plan. Well, I didn't do it for every single one because there were so many. Like, it was a bit ridiculous. But I did as many essay plans as I could because I just thought that was the best way to revise, because in economics, like 50 out of 80 marks is essays on 2 of the papers. It is like a large proportion is writing essays, so I did as many essay plans as I could. Not absolutely all of them because, I don't know, I wasn't that good at revising if I'm honest. And the last studying tip I have is to download the Flora app, which is basically an app where you set a time that you want to revise for. It's usually like 25 minutes if you want to do like the Pomodoro method, or like 50 minutes, like whatever. Once you press start, you have to leave your phone on that app and a tree grows. And if you go off the app, then the tree dies. So the point is you don't like use your phone at all when you're revising, you just stay on the app and your tree grows, and then you get like a little garden, I don't know. So yeah, I only started using this like probably like a week or 2 before my exams ended, because I just thought it wouldn't work for me, but then I just started using it anyway and it actually was quite good. So the next section is going to be about just like general sixth form advice, So I get a lot of like a few comments and DMs asking about how I manage my time because like of school, YouTube, I have a job, and just like things that I want to do, like free time. So the way I balance my time, I basically just got into a routine that works for me. So basically my life has been pretty much the same for like 2 years. I have just like had a schedule for myself. I know when I'm doing what. So as for schoolwork, I would do all throughout year 12, I would use all of my frees because I didn't have like my friends in my frees. So I didn't really have anyone well, I could have chat to people, but I wasn't that bothered about chatting to people in frees. I just used them to do homework so that when I got home I didn't have anything to do. Honestly, my memory of like the 2 years of sixth form, all of my evenings were free and weekends. I hardly did any work outside of school because if I have 2 frees a day, I might as well use them so that I can like chill in the evening and do what I want, because I mean obviously not everyone has like a ongoing project such as a YouTube channel, but like it is something I wanted to do every week, so I've got to like make the time. So by doing all of my schoolwork at school, that kept my evenings free to like edit videos and things like that. Also I had the goal of, not goal, but like I wanted to go to the gym 3 times a week. I just sort of got into the habit of doing 3 classes a week, and mostly like all in the evenings. That was just something that would not change. Like you sort of have to have the mindset of like, this is something that you've got to plan your life around. So if you have a job, obviously that's like a set thing that you need to do every week. If you go to the gym, that's like a set thing that you need to do every like day or however many times a week. You just have to have the mindset of like, you are going to fit everything in. Like you can't sacrifice one part of your life for school. I did slack a bit in year 13, like I didn't use all of my frees, but mostly I did do all of my work at school. Anything I need to do, I just do it when I get home, and then I could go to my gym class and then just like relax after that. Obviously I only upload about once a week, and it's been less than that over these past weeks because of A-level exams, so sorry about that. But yeah, so I would edit a video throughout the week. It does take a long time to edit videos, by the way. It's not just like a one night thing. So I would edit a video over like a couple of evenings a week. And I did work all throughout sixth form. At my first job, I worked every Sunday, and at the job I have now, I work every Saturday. So I've always worked one weekend day, except last year, October to December, I worked both weekend days, which just because I was like a Christmas temp for the company, so they needed me 2 weekend days because it was like a busy time, and I was completely happy with that because like I just wanted to earn a lot of money. I didn't really need to focus on school that much because it wasn't coming up to exams. It was only like October, November time. So yeah, I just fit my schedule around that. I knew that that is something I had to do. Like that was my contract. I can't not go to work. I'm not going to sacrifice going to the gym, and I'm not going to sacrifice my hobbies either. So I created a time to do my YouTube videos. So when I worked only one weekend day, I'd film a video on the other day. And when I worked 2 weekend days, I would film a video before work on the Sunday. And then editing in the evenings, schoolwork in school time, and if not, then when I got home. I never did schoolwork on the weekends, apart from when it came to exam time. So yeah, the key is to just fit all your things in like where they need to be. Like there's a lot of things that just have to be in a certain time, so that makes it easier for you. Like my work is at a certain time, that can't be changed, so I fit another aspect of my life around that. You just get into a schedule, and that has been my sort of schedule for the last 2 years. And I really do like to be organised. Like I'm definitely not organised all the time. I definitely have not been organised over the past few months. But yeah, I do find it like fun to be organised kind of, and like I like having my life together. Like most of sixth form I sort of did. Definitely in year 12 I did. But Now I don't, but it's fine. I'll find a new schedule. Next thing is to try and, this is so hard, but try and figure out what you want to do after sixth form as soon as possible. So like whether you want to go to uni, whether you want to do an apprenticeship, get a job, stuff like that, because then you just know where you're going. Like, you have motivation to work hard, like if you need certain grades, or if you've got other plans. Maybe you don't need really good A-level grades, so you know you can put extra time into something else. So yeah, it sort of just gives like your studying like a bit of a purpose, so you know that that's actually going to lead to something, because otherwise it can just be like, oh, so annoying, like so boring, why am I here? And the last tip that I have is about people and friends and everything like that. I just would say do not put up with any bullshit in sixth form. Like, obviously people can be very bitchy, people fall out, it's fine, but if someone is not your best friend, if you don't care about them that much, I would honestly just say, like, if you don't like them, just cut them out of your life. Like, don't talk to them, don't associate with them, because it does not matter. Like, it's not rude to not want to be friends with someone. Like, if you don't click and if you've had a problem, just leave it. Like, you don't have to be friends with everyone. You don't have to get on with everyone. Like, as long as you have healthy relationships with your really close circle, then I think it's absolutely fine to ditch people, basically. Like, literally, not too long ago, someone, like, really pissed me off. So I just unfollowed them on everything, not associate myself with them anymore, because it's really not that deep. It's not rude to not follow someone. You can unfollow who you like, you can delete them off all your social medias, because it's just putting yourself first and knowing that if you're not seeing that person, they're not a problem. You really just have to think about yourself. I don't know if that sounds a bit too selfish, but you do have to think about yourself. And if you're going to be annoyed by seeing someone on social media, by seeing them in real life, obviously it is hard with school because you have to see everyone every day, but I really do think it's absolutely fine to cut people out. Like, if you don't like them, don't talk to them, don't have them on Snapchat, don't have them on Instagram. You know, you've just got to make sure that everything that you're like consuming, like seeing, is coming into your life. So like in real life and on social media. So many teens, me included, spend a lot of time on phones, like scrolling through Instagram, looking at Snapchat stories. You've got to make sure that every single person is someone that you feel positively about and you don't mind looking at their life. Because say if you have loads of people that you're like really jealous of, or make you like feel bad about yourself or compare yourself on Instagram or on Snapchat, then you're constantly consuming their content, like looking at their life, and it's really affecting you, even if you don't notice it. So next time you're scrolling through Instagram, I would say, if there's something that makes you feel like negative in any way, unfollow the person. Like, it's fine. Like, you can follow who you want. You don't have to follow everyone in your year. Just because you know someone, you don't have to follow them. I don't know why people think so deeply about Instagram followers and likes. You really just have to think of yourself and what's best for you. Anyway, so that is all the advice I would give for sixth form. Obviously, I'm not a top student, but you know, I think that if you do those things and you put a lot of effort in, then you can definitely get really good grades. I probably haven't worked as hard as I should have, but it is what it is. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!